Good evening. The Who's today were on at Warwick Farm, Randwick Guineas Day. Um, we'll get to that in a second. Just very briefly, there was a meeting, of course, on Thursday at Wyong. The track was given out dead. They're upgraded to good. The rail was 4 out from the 1350 to the 210 where the cutaway came into play. And there was a light nor'easter. No, it was a sou'easter, light sou'easter, which didn't have any effect. At Wyong on Thursday, most of the winners were up near the lead. There was most certainly nothing wrong with the fence. If you're wide in the run, it was difficult, but you could run on from back in the field if there was enough pace. I think the track played very fair, even though a lot of the winners were up near the lead. It was just the class of horse which led to those circumstances, and there was nothing out of the meeting that was really unlucky or that was a really good win either. It was a fairly average day, and that's all that needed to be said there. Now today, of course, getting back to Warwick Farm, we had a good track. The rail was 2 metres out. There was just a light breeze, a light nor'easterly, very light, had no effect, and the track played very fair. You could lead, you could come off the fence, you could come around them, come through the middle. There was no bias on the track whatsoever. The pace played the key. In this first race, there wasn't much pace in this race until about the 1,000 metre mark. There was a protest in the first race, second against first, permit against Tremac. A little bit of interference from the turn. I saw it watching the race live. Knew there'd be a protest, and I wasn't too sure whether it'd be upheld or dismissed. It was hard to gauge watching it the first time, and even watching it when you watch the replay, there was a little bit of interference there, but Horseman Bowman on the second horse never stopped riding, and he was safely held all the way down the straight, and he only failed by 0.1 of a length. In this race, on the screen it said 103.5. We got about the neat 100 in the marketplace, and as I say, the favourite Tremac, it won, surviving the protest. It led now. I see Tremac always handy, running second, and outplugged the others. There wasn't much between them when they hit the line, and the winner was given a very good ride by Christian Reith. That's about all you would say there. As I say, they walked in that race. The second race, there was 102.1 on the screen, and again only about a neat 100 in the marketplace. And this race was won by all the talk, number 3. It sat up nice and handy. It sat outside the leader, who was Fueza, and when they turned for home, again, even though this was only a 1,200-metre race, there wasn't much pace in this race either. And when they turned for home, all the talk was able to show a good turn of foot and went away and won easily by 3.5 lengths. Coming from about third last on the fence was Octane Flyer from barrier 1, right along the fence, getting inside Dothraki, who was up near the lead, just behind them on the fence from barrier 2. The winner, by far the best run. Good job, Bro. The Avery, it sat on the back of the winner, and it went fairly poorly. Horseman Huey Bowman was aboard, and he said it changed stride a couple of times, and it pulled up with a poor recovery rate. The winner, by far the best run, and I don't think the form out of that race will prove very strong. Race 3, there was 103.3 on the screen, and a lot less here. Excuse me, only about 96 in the marketplace. and this was won by Ichikara. I must be mad here. I finished up losing on this race, and I marked it a lot shorter than I actually gave. I gave $10, and I did see 11, but it got a good run. It didn't lead Ichikara from barrier 1. It went straight to the lead, Golden Sunshine, and on its outside the favourite Heart Tester, who was very well backed. And Ichikara was looking at the pair on the fence from barrier 1, and when they turned for home, once the favourite Heart Tester got past Golden Sunshine very easily, and horseman Huey Bowman on Ichikara just eased across their heels and finished up beating it by 0.2 of a length on the line, the favourite Heart Tester. The flux in this race, Ichikara, we put it up about a $7 chance, got out to 11, back into 10 or 9. Limes, it went up a $13 chance, a 12 to 1 chance, $13, got out to as much as 16, but only started about a $14 chance, hard to get. Golden Sunshine, it went from about $6 out to 8, back into 7. Heart Tester, we put it up to $2.80 favourite, got out to $3.30, back into $2.80. Knight Templar, a bit hard to lay, although it did firm up, $6 out to $7.50 given, back into $6. Villa Splendido didn't have a price, 16 out to 31. Lampedusa, it was well backed, opened up $6, got out to $6.50, only started $5.50. And Medusa's Pride at one stage, I did lay 5,200 at one stage, it was 30s into 21, back out to $26. You could lay it for whatever you wanted, $26 at one stage. Also, the bottom one, Almighty Charge, I gave 40 to 1, I didn't want to miss it. 30 out to 40, back into about 26. Also very well backed, under the 100 there, and the winner was well backed. I suppose it was a winning race for the bookies also, but this Muggins here, he found a way to do his money on the race. Now, race 4, there was a fat 107.6 on the screen. I must admit, about 104 in the marketplace. This Avery Assail, it went, even though it missed the kick, it went fairly poorly. Even its rider, Proper Peter Roble, saying the same thing. It went up a $1.80 chance and got out to $1.90. And look, it was $1.80 out to $1.90, back into $1.85, but it started at $1.90. The second pick, Calming Influence, went up a $4.20 chance, got out to $4.60, was taken at one stage, but started that price, $4.60. Grey Filly, who missed a kick, and its rider, terrific Tommy Berry, injured his foot, but was past fit to ride for the rest of the day when they jumped. I gave $12. I didn't want to miss it. It only started $8.50. The winner, Romantic Moon, was a big result for the captains. About a $13 chance, 12 to 1 out to $17. Vocalise, 20 out to 26. Thump, $26 all the way through betting. Tropical Force, 26 out to 60, back into 50. Most Joyful was 16 out to 31, and the bottom one, Serious Fun, 26 out to 51. And as I say, this favourite, he missed the kick, and he settled back in about third last position on the fence, never ever really travelling. Hit the rail at one stage, and when hooking around heels, turning for home, it caused a lot of interference to Serious Fun, who was tailed off and eased down. But look, even if it jumped and had a good run, and I doubt whether it would have won. The winner sat 3 wide with cover. It led on the fence, Calming Influence, and it also went very, very poorly. Its rider, Jay Cassidy, the pumper, he said it raced a bit lethargic, and it pulled up with a poor recovery rate. And outside it was Tropical Force, who dropped right out. It was eased down. Jockey wasn't happy with its action, and 3 wide outside the pair was Most Joyful, and as I say, 3 wide with cover was the winner, Romantic Moon, and they turned for home, and it was too strong. It finished up winning by a length from Thump, who was inside it, who found the line. It's looking for a longer journey, Thump. And coming from last, also in the 3 wide line with cover, was Grey Filly, after having a bit of a miss up at the start. the favourite one. And the two picks, very, very disappointing. Race 5, they said there was 102.5 on the screen, 97 in the marketplace. This is how we got the 97. Ladies Angel literally didn't have a price. It went from a 9 to 2 chance, $5.50 out to $11. Miss Stella Bell, who hasn't seen daylight yet, also very hard to lay. It went from $6.50 out to a $10 chance. Shannara, who was also badly held up, and not as bad as Miss Shamadal, it went from 18 out to 21. Cafe Lady, $7.50 out to 8, back into about $6.50. Erinosa, very well backed Erinosa, $7 into $5.50 at one stage, back out to 6. Choice was the favourite. They said it was going to be ridden closer today, and it was. Although it missed a kick slightly, but it was still settled down just behind the pace. It went from $3 out to $3.80, back into $3.50 or 60. Embark, I gave $11, didn't want to miss it. $11 into about a $9 chance. Sutton Queen also back, 41 into 21. Del Zero, 31 to 41. Nickelberg, I did lay 6,100, didn't want to miss it, into $41. And Marion, 21 out to 26 taken, starting 21. And it was a funny race. As I say, the two runners that never ever got a run in this race were Miss Stella Bell and also Shannara. They settled. They were on the fence, the pair of them, and from barriers 1 and 2, the winner Erinosa, it sat back in last position, and ridden by the brilliant Brendan Abdullah, it took off before the turn, sucking up behind runners, easing around their heels, turning for home, and finished a bit too strong to win by a length, beating the favourite Choice Words, who, even though missed the kick, had its chance. And Ladies Angel, it sucked up from right behind the pace from barrier 3, and it finished up running third. That's about all you would say there. Race 6, there was 106.8 on the screen, and also positive figures in the marketplace, about 104%. It's a Done Deal proved it was, I think it's more or less pointed out, it was going to, at Rose Hill last start, it was going to finish well back in the field at the 1,000-metre mark when it was hard ridden, but it did find the line very strongly. And of course, the hood went on today. It might have switched this horse on. It came off Procier's back after turning and beat Procier by a half a length. $7 given. It opened up a $5 to $6 chance, got out to 7, back into $6.50. What else do you say about this race? It led Tatra, ran along at a nice pace, tougher than ever on its outside. Procier, the second pick, looking at the pair, and tucked away inside. Procier was the favourite, Rebel Dane, who was taken onto the rail at one stage by Procier, but that didn't have, there were no excuses for it. Although it was tied up against the fence. But the winner, It's a Done Deal. As I say, it was in between runners coming down the side, and coming to the turn, it was extricated off heels, easily getting into a position right behind Procier. And when they swung for home, repeating myself, it tagged Procier into the race, hooked around his heels. They finished in the middle of the track, and it was a bit too strong. He might, as one good judge pointed out to me, there's a possibility that It's a Done Deal now might have the wood on Procier for the rest of the season when the races even get to a longer distance. That's about all you would say there. Proverb, of course, hit the line well after copying a bit of a check, and the others, including the favourite Rebel Dane, more or less had their chance. Race 7, a bit of difference in the per here, 102.4 on the screen. I thought only about 96 in the marketplace. Haylist went from $3 out to $4.20, back into $3.80, but back out to $4.20, starting that price. Temple Doom, 14 out to 19. Atomic Force, 51 to 71. Decision time, I didn't want to miss it. $31 I gave. Started 19. Tiger Tease, very hard to lay. It went up the third pick. Tiger Tease at a 7 to 2 opening quote, $4.60, but it started 13 to 2 pop, $7.60. Extremely hard to lay, although I did get a better section out of it. The next runner was Golden Archer, $13 out to 17. The next runner was Second Effort, 51 out to 101. How Much Do You Love Me? $12 out to 13, back into about 11. Mrs. Onassis, 15 taken into 14. Fire Thunderbolt, $19 given, started 18 or 17. Switzerland, it went up the second or equal second favourite with Tiger Tease at the $4.40, $4.60, plenty of $4.60. It started the clear-cut favourite at $3.50, the 3-year-old, and single style, it was a 200 to 1 chance, under the 100, not the 102.4 they said at the top price. And it Haylist began more or less with them, but then showed enough pace to go through and lead, with Switzerland coming across on its outside. The pair did run along at a good solid bat, with Tiger Tease third on the fence and How Much Do You Love Me on its outside. And the 3-year-old was able to get past Haylist, easily turning for home, and went away and won by 2.8 lengths, with Decision Time, who was resuming from a bleeding attack, I think, and from about 5th position, beaten in the second place, beaten 2.8 lengths. And How Much You Love Me just nudged Haylist out for the 3rd position, 3.3 and 3.4 lengths away, respectively. And that was about that race. The winner was Far Too Good, and it took a lot of section out of the ring. Now, race 8, there was 102.1 on the screen, and in the marketplace, only about 97, 98. These were the flux. Crafty Earner, who would have been a good result for the captains, although the winner was, I think, both very hard to lay. But Crafty Earner went from $6.50 out to $8.50. Now, Colorado Clare, good old fool here. I didn't want to miss it. I gave $8 for at least 5,000, and then I laid it at $7, $6.50, and $6 at one stage. It did start $6, but it was into $5.50 at one stage. The next runner, Jade Marauder, it was $6 into $5. The winner, Ty, it opened up the clear favourite at $4. 3 to 1 the field will have you. And it just kept on getting out in the market, and it started $5, 4 to 1, equal favourite when they jumped. The next runner was Shamadani, $5.50 out to 6, back into $5.50. Alinea Tide, it was $26 into 21. Sables, 26 out to 41, back into 31. Flying Fuji, 61 to 81. The next runner, Osmos Quality, which missed the kick slightly, and it finished up it ran 4th, only been beaten about 1.5 lengths, 1.4 lengths. It made up a bit of ground from about 6th position after missing the kick. $6 out to $8, started $7.50 on the fence, and the bottom one was $151. The rank outsider, Cassaholic. Now, it went straight to the lead tie, and it came and sat across on its outside, Colorado Clare. Now, he got away with a very easy lead to about the 800-metre mark. Luke Nolan, Black Caviar's rider, and when he was always going to be very hard to beat from that position. Colorado Clare, who was on his outside, was more or less beaten on the turn. Sitting 3rd behind them on the fence was Cassaholic, the rank outsider, and ran in that position. It ran last. And in the 1-1 position was the second horse, Crafty Earner. It moved up to the winner halfway or after straightening, and the winner held it all the way down the straight. But by the same token, coming from well back in the field was Jade Marauder for about second last position. and only beaten about 1.7 lengths, and there was 1.9, under 2 lengths between the first more or less 7 runners, and the winner got away with that very easy lead, which most certainly got it home. And that was about the meeting. As I say, the track played fair, and even though it was Randwick Guineas Day, there wasn't. There was just the usual suspects there, and not much to play around with. And it all depended how you handle the meeting, punting or bookmaking, whether you won or lost, which is generally the case. So if you did play laying them or backing them, I hope you had some luck. Everyone should try and get to the Newcastle meeting on Wednesday, the Newmarket meeting. It should be all right, and of course you've got a much better chance of winning on track than betting blind and taking unders anywhere else, because captains, we give section away like we're printing it at home. Good evening.